Hi, this is Nikki, and I'm here to share the messages that I get from Spirit and from all of our higher selves that are helping us on this journey to unconditional love. Love the journey, love the soul group, that are most definitely helping us back into our divine unions. And so I do divine love healing where I can connect to your souls, and I get the messages that your souls want you to know to put you on your highest path. So I use a combination of Holy Fire Reiki and shamanic healing and also crystals. And so I connect to your energies, and then I see everything like a movie. I give you a write-up of everything that I see, and that could be past lives, it could be blocked, it could be energy cord cutting, it could be anything that's right for you. I also see a roadmap, so I see whereabouts you are on your roadmap. So normally there's like 3 bends and then the homeward stretch, and I either see whether you're, coming up to the first bend or going through the 3rd or on the home stretch or whatever it may be. But that's, everyone, when I say that, I don't want to give the wrong impression. That doesn't mean anything around timing, right? It also doesn't mean, because I know that everyone is very, very hooked into timing, and that's something that I want to stress, is that, I've just had a message from somebody who said that they've seen their person on Facebook and they've got a new girlfriend or whatever. And they're saying it's really distressing because they keep hearing union, 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 and then they see that. And so what I want to say is that you are already together in the spiritual realm. Your souls are already joined. You're joined in the heart, right? And so if you are not together in the physical, it is because it's not your time yet, because there is, things for you to uncover about yourself. They're going on their own journey. So you have to look at, if you're not together, then they're still learning stuff, right? There is still things to be learned before you can come together. So you are already in union in your spiritual and your soul connection, right? So you're never out of union. That's the thing. You're always in union because you're always together. You are together in the heart, right? So that's why it's really important to not focus on the time, because every time you focus on the time, it's almost like you're pushing it away, because what you should be focusing on is your heart connection. And when you're focusing on your heart connection, you're vibrating at that very high love level, right? And so when you vibrate at that very high love level, then you can start to attract everything to you, right? And the twin spirit is so much about creating the life of your dreams. It's not just, being in this physical relationship. It's so much more than that. And so that's why, my advice would be is don't look at them on social media. I mean, unless you're quite fine knowing that this is a lesson and you're okay with looking at that, because of course it will, of course that's going to hurt if you see that. So, it's really, down to knowing that the journey is so much about coming, finding more about your own soul, right? For me, I went down this whole path of doing healing and then doing past life regression and then doing shamanic healing and then journeying and then, which has taken years for me to get to where I am today. And so that's why I can say definitely, and I know that everyone's experience is different, right? But as soon as I started learning about how I can find more about our soul's journey together and experiencing that and seeing what past lives we've had together and seeing, and actually being able to do that and doing journeying, then it changed completely. Because you can then know that you are together in that heart space, which is why I'm doing this healing for people, because I know, because I've been there, I've lived through it, I know how to make the journey easier. And it's not that I say that what I did was right or wrong, but I know that it helped me massively, because I was able to put my mind at rest and move more into my heart space. So with that said, I also do a Divine Love Crystal Grid, which uses rose quartz crystal. And when you meditate with the crystal, it basically sends unconditional love out, and you are then part of a soul group, because crystals are going all over the world to basically ground the energies of love and light onto the planet, right? Which, again, if you step back and when you're feeling like, oh, what are they doing? They're not with me. And you know what? It's totally understandable. When I saw my twin last time, he really said things that would just push me away, right? Because they are going through this thing of like, oh my God, I need to change. You know, they're thinking, I've got to change my life to be with that person. Because don't forget, they know, like on a deeper subconscious level, they do know, they have an inner knowing. And so depending on what they are doing or where they are in their life, it may be they have to change how they live their life, what they will do, how they, you know, are in their relationships, whether, you know, what they do for, I mean, it's just such a big thing, right? So, of course, if you're frightened, then you'll try to push somebody away. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the magnetic pull of the heart will be too great. And so that's why if you work on your soul connection, work on your heart connection, focus on that, and then that will be your quickest way to union, right? But then it's really about, you have to try to forget time and just focus on your heart. Because these are the two cards. So this is the tarot that I use, and the cards are beautiful. And so, not surprisingly, we are holding the acorn, right? And if you follow these messages, then the crystal grid is all based around the forest lovers, which are entwined for eternity around the oak tree. So when I saw this, we are basically breathing life into them, because it's the life renewed card, and she's holding a baby acorn. Now, what happens with acorns? A tree doesn't grow overnight. A tree doesn't grow, you know, and some people, you know, that's why time is such a dangerous thing to focus on, because, you know, everyone's journey is so different. It's so different, but it's a journey of finding yourself, right? It's a journey of finding your self-love, learning more about your soul, who you are as a soul, right? That's why the healing is so good, because you can delve into your soul. It basically opens a doorway for then you to start to see signs, messages from spirit and from your twin spirit. So we're breathing life into them. And then what are they doing? Well, they are at the moment, look at his little face. He's like, oh my God, I'm just protecting this egg, right? Now, a lot of the time I see golden eggs with the yin yang symbol inside being, and it symbolizes you and your twin as yin and yang, as the male, female within the egg. And so the fact that he is holding the egg, this is the thing, he's aware, right? Your divine counterpart is aware on some level, and they're very, very protective over that, right? They're very protective. They might not deal with it the right way on the outside because they're fearful of what that means. They're fearful of dropping the egg. They're fearful of tasting the egg. They're fearful of everything, but they're very kind of like, look at his face, protective of it, right? So that's why at the moment, especially because think of all the songs that we've had coming through, it's all been like very much the divine masculine reaching out and saying, I'm feeling really vulnerable. I've got rocky waters to cross, but I love you. I want you to know that I love you. Now, another song that came through was Hurt by Johnny Cash that was on the Logan film. And so a lady overnight said that her twin flame has actually updated that as his Facebook status. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? Confirmation again that this is how they're feeling. The other thing is that my twin sent me, he went to a play yesterday. And again, this is just confirmation from them. The address, he sent me the theatre production that he went to. And the address of it was number 269. So, you know what? This is why you have to know that this is union. This is the divine mirror, right? The 6 and the 9. So whatever is happening. And then just as I was writing out this song, somebody sent me a song on the radio. The play that I was listening to was written by a David, and the play was called Union. So, but that is because you are already in union. Remember, the Star of David is the 6-pointed star, which is divine masculine, divine feminine, all in one, in the star. So that's why they're saying you're already in union. If you focus on what they're doing, with who they're doing it with, and they're not there with you in physical, then you're essentially just putting a big block in the way. Because it's all about focusing on the heart. Because don't forget, that's what we're here to learn how to do. To focus on the heart and to live in unconditional love. So love doesn't need to have the person there. Love doesn't need to have anything reciprocated. Love is love, right? And so that is why, that is the lesson, right? And once you get the lesson and you're using that in every area of your life, then, you know, the universe will make everything else happen. So, sorry, I guess that was a bit of a... But anyway, I just thought, because I can really sense that people are feeling really, you know, and looking at them on social media. I mean, for me personally, I would never, ever, ever, because I know what it would do to me. It would just send me over the edge. So I prefer to just focus on the heart connection. All right, so this is the song. This is the song from us to them this time. A lady sent it to me overnight. I looked in the comments again, loads of signs in the comments. But the song is this. So because remember that we're one consciousness as well, and all of these messages that have come through from them. So I think it's time for us to send them a message back so it filters through to their consciousness. So... You think I'd leave your side, baby. You know me better than that. You think I'd love you down, let you down when you're down and on your knees. I wouldn't do that. I'll tell you you're right when you want, and if only you could see into me. Oh, when you're cold, I'll be there and hold you tight to me. When you're on the outside, baby, and you can't get in, I will show you you're so much better than you know. When you're lost and you're alone and you can't get back again, I will find you, darling, and I will bring you home. And if you want to cry, I am here to dry your eyes, and in no time you'll be fine. Oh, when you're cold, when you're cold, I'll be there. Oh, when you're low, I'll be there, baby, by your side. So... that's the song from us to them. The other thing is that somebody has bought, I mean, I did a message yesterday about green and the copper. So some people have come back and said, no way, I've been buying copper pots. I've bought a green amethyst heart crystal, which integrates the higher and lower aspects of my being with my awakened heart. Somebody is going to send this to her twin, which is, I just thought I'd share it because, again, a gorgeous thing just for us to remember. Well, and also to filter through into our divine masculine,